Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time doing another Spidey-tember episode review, and this one is on The Uncanny Principle. Now, The Uncanny Principle is the 9th episode of the first season of Spectacular Spider-Man, as well as trying to finish up the second episode in the Green Goblin storyline for the first season. Now, to me, I definitely see this as the worst episode from Season 1. And I think the reason why is always going to be obvious. So, let me start with the premise of the review. So, the premise of the review starts up during Halloween. We kind of see how Green Goblin ends up kidnapping Hammerhead and, of course, taking him to a steel mill. We kind of see how he tries to kind of bribe and convince him to join his side, and we kind of see how Green Goblin steals a jump drive which contains criminal evidence from Tombstone. And this is where we do see Tombstone and Spider-Man joining together again, which I think I give them credit, showing how both of them do respect each other, but both of them have a different goal. And we do kind of see how Gwen notices Harry's addiction getting worse, and this is where you can tell Harry doesn't want to admit his own screw-ups. And this is where I think the episode makes it too obvious that you know it's going to be Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin. And you know Harry was never really going to be the Green Goblin, because I think the point with Norman Osborn is that he's always one step ahead. He always knows how to kind of find a way to manipulate things. I think the problem is, I think the team behind Spectacular Spider-Man wanted to throw us off our tracks, even though it was kind of obvious. And I think the way the Green Goblin was put in for the first season just doesn't really work, because you know who the Green Goblin's gonna be. I think if they didn't really put him in too quickly, and had time to use him as the next villain for Season 2, it could have built things up a bit more. Because I think the point of building up the Green Goblin is always making him the first real main threat. And this is something I always did in my writing when working on Spider-Man, because I always had the idea of the Green Goblin suit being tested and slowly built. I always had the intention of having Spider-Man's blood being used for the Goblin Serum, and Norman Osborn becoming the Green Goblin. And again, I kind of feel having MJ at the end at the same school with Peter just doesn't work, because there's a reason I'm not a big fan of the whole Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy thing being thrown together. It just adds the wrong chemistry. And I also, as well, do give it credit that it's at least trying to build up the potential symbiote storyline for the next three or four episodes for the last bits of Season 1. I would say, had the first season just mostly focused on Venom and not used the 2 episodes for Green Goblin, then Season 2 could have been a bit better, because I think there really was an intention to do something bigger with the Green Goblin, but it doesn't really work. And I think, yeah, the Uncanny Principle is definitely the worst episode from Season 1, because you know it's going to be Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin, and you can tell that the team behind Spectacular Spider-Man really wanted to kind of throw us off our trails. But I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs down. It's not great, not the best, but you can really tell they were really intended to kind of build up the mystery, even though people knew who the Green Goblin was gonna be. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.